Kong.
On this episode, I start out by showing you what it's like getting ready for a trip, and then I spend the night at a campground in Georgia on my way to the Carolinas. Alright, so I'm on top of my roof here on the RV, and I'm installing a cell phone booster. See, here's the top of the roof. There's my house right there. How this works is basically connecting to the TV antenna. Right here, this is the TV antenna, and connected to a cell phone booster. I use the King Connect. This is it, and this is actually a cell phone booster. So if I'm in the middle of the nowhere, like the mountains and stuff, it will actually reach out farther in a distance to try and catch up a cell tower, so I get better signal, so I don't have dropped calls. Also, I use a hotspot for the internet when I'm traveling, and so this will actually boost the hotspot, so I don't have any problems when I'm working remotely. So I'm gonna install this. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so all done, finished with the King Connect phone extender. So how it works is, that's the TV antenna, plugged it in here, wire wraps around all the way to the cell phone booster up here, and that projects a bigger signal. So what I did was obviously put some sealant around the white stuff, around the wire. Every time you plug a hole into the RV, you want to put some sealant on, wraps around. And that's it. So hopefully when I'm in the middle of nowhere, I get a better cell signal so I don't have dropped calls, and I can work more efficiently using my hotspot. So about to take off on my next trip. I'm actually headed to South Carolina and North Carolina. The Carolinas for about a week. I'm staying in South Carolina, well, Georgia tonight, and then South Carolina tomorrow. Gonna be a pretty cool trip. 5 days hiking in the Smokies, but just getting the RV ready. You know, lots of things I need to get done. I'll show you here in a few clips of some of the basics that I need to do in order to get going and get started, so I can head on the road. First thing I gotta get done is get the stabilizers in, which are right here. These things, these will go up. I don't want to bore you with that, but basically you get both of these up. This one, you come over here and you have another stabilizer jack. Then this comes up. Get those. Freshwater hookup, so I need to put fresh water so I can obviously shower and use the restroom. Everything's charged up as regards to the electrical, so it's kind of a bit to do when getting going. So one of the first things you need to do, obviously, when you start traveling, is you want to fill up your freshwater tank. So you find your freshwater tank here, right there, and then you can either do one or the other. I like doing freshwater in case I need to drink it, or you can just do it straight from the hose, but you don't want to fill it up too much. You want to fill up maybe a fourth of a tank or half of a tank, because when you're traveling, it's 40 gallons, and that's a lot of weight when you're pulling, so it's just more gas and more wasted gas. So obviously just fill it up as much as you want, and that's pretty much it. So you want to fill about half tank. You know, you kind of guesstimate. There's really no scientific process to this. So one of the last things you want to do is, once you have all your jacks up, you know, stabilizer jacks, your tongue jack, you want to get your truck connected to it. There's a process with that. It's not too hard, you just got to connect it. But you always want to walk around your RV to make sure that nothing is left behind. Or, like for example, this slide. I need to put this slide out. Making sure that nothing is, you know, around or could fall off when I'm driving. You know, obviously gotta put this up, and then especially inside, you want to make sure that you have a look inside to make sure there's no cups, glasses, the TV, like, you know, everything is strapped down, making sure that when you're out on the road, you know, because it does sway side to side pretty aggressively too when you're driving. So I'm going to show you now the tongue jack and how to hook the truck up, and I should be ready to go. So basically you pull your truck, get it lined up, and obviously this is called the tongue jack, so it's the front. All right, then you go the right way. Obviously lift it up, let it hang, and then since I'm at an angle here with my driveway, I can't really pull out and go straight, so I gotta hook up sway bars. So I'll show you in the next video how to hook up the sway bars, but you gotta have your truck straight. The sway bars basically control the RV side to side, and so it doesn't sway so much. All right, so I'm gonna show you one side of how this sway bar works. So it's this big heavy bar. All right, you line it up in here. Connect it like so. All right, the difficult part is actually getting it on top of that. So it connects to the hitch to here. You gotta use this tool. And voila, that's done. So you can see, right? This bar right here is connected to the hitch and it controls the sway. That's the sway bar. All right, I'm ready to go. I'm all set up. RV all hooked up, truck's ready to go, and I'm hot. It is like 90 degrees here in Florida. Can't wait to get to the mountains, South Carolina, North Carolina, and be in about 40-degree weather, hiking. It'll be fun. So it's a good experience. It's usually getting the RV ready, it's about an hour with getting the water, getting everything locked down, connecting the truck. It's about an hour, so it's a little bit of work, but obviously as I get better at it and I do it more, it'll be easier and easier. So
after 8 hours of driving, I finally arrived at my campground in the backwoods of southern Georgia.
So I just got to my campground. I'm all set up. I'm gonna cook a steak, have some beers. Well, I already started. And it's a formal campground. There's bathrooms over there. There's a bunch of RVs over there, so it's not bad. You can see here I'm gonna set up a grill and start cooking a steak and relax and listen to music. But it actually looks kind of cool. There's a lake or a creek right over here, so in the morning it should look pretty cool. All right, so cooking away. My whole setup is set. Just chilling here. It's kind of cold out. It's like 60 degrees, and got my steak grilling. Put some onions on that when I'm done, and gonna start a fire after. Well, got my fire, and obviously my beer. Fire's going. Have like 8 more beers and then call it a night. We'll see in the morning. It's actually quite nice over here. There's a creek, lake over here. It's very peaceful. So I just woke up after my first night of stay in the RV, and wasn't bad. I stayed at some campground here. It's kind of pretty in the morning, very Georgia-ish. You have the tall pines here. You've got the Spanish moss over here. I did get woken up by these fucking roosters, cockle-doodle-dooing or whatever they do at 5 in the morning, just right by my RV. But that's where I was, tucked away. Obviously, there's the lake and the river over there, so pretty cool. So I'm headed to South Carolina today to go skeet shooting and go to a shooting range on a plantation. So should be a good experience.